What's going on, guys? This is Jack here, aka the Fitness Butler, and welcome to the channel. So today's video is going to be centered around stretching and mobility. More specifically, mobility for the hips, the hamstring and the lower back. So these tend to be problem areas for a lot of people, and that is normally down to two things. One, posture, and two, leading a sedentary lifestyle. So sitting down a lot, basically. If you're an office job, if you're sitting at a desk all day, or if you're just sitting down too often, it can cause tightness down the posterior chain, in the hamstrings, in the glutes, piriformis, and your hips and hip flexors as well. So the main goal of today's video is to show you some daily, or if not daily, at least weekly stretches that you can implement into your routine to hopefully counteract some of this muscle tightness. In particular, if you're someone that is doing weight training or resistance training like myself, because that sort of style of training shortens your muscles, it tightens the muscles up, and as much as weight training and resistance training is awesome, you need to counteract it by doing stretches like these and lengthening out their muscles, okay? So I'm going to be demonstrating each of the stretches with a little commentary to explain how to get into the stretch and exactly what areas it's going to be targeting, and I can show you some modifications as well if there are any stretches that you can't quite do at this stage. Okay, let's get into this now. So for the first stretch on the list, it's going to be one called the Happy Baby. This is one that's commonly used in yoga classes, and it's actually designed to stretch all three of the areas that I was mentioning in the video title, so the hips, the hamstrings and the lower back all together. So you're going to have to lie flat on your back for this one, legs up in the air with bent knees, grabbing the outsides of the feet, and I want you to actively pull your knees down in towards your armpit, lifting your tailbone slightly from the floor. So what that's going to do is create space into the spinal erectors, or your lower back muscles, through that slight spinal flexion. In turn, it will also open the hips, and you'll get the added benefit of a hamstring stretch as well. If you feel your hamstrings are a particularly tight area on your body and you're looking for a slightly deeper hamstring stretch, I suggest taking a band or a towel, wrapping it around the sole of your foot, and one leg at a time actively pushing the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling, trying to open up the back of the knee, and that will get you a slightly deeper hamstring stretch on one leg at a time. The next stretch here is called the Not Safe for Work, or the NSFW. Reason being is you probably won't want to do this one in front of people. So you're going to go down onto your front on your forearms and knees. You want your toes out turned, knees nice and wide, and what you're going to do is move up and down into a deep squat. So you're going to drop your butt and your hips as low as you can, and then you're going to drive the hips forward whilst maintaining a neutral spine. So it's so important here that you avoid any spinal flexion or extension. You're trying to keep that back nice and flat as you go through the range of movement, and this will provide a deep stretch for the groin and the inner hips, and it also forces the hips into deep external rotation by having the knees nice and wide and the toes pointed out, which will create space into the hip flexors. So this next stretch is the perfect all-rounder, and if you can't quite get into this deep squat position, I will be showing an alternative next, which is a ground-based variation. So what I want you to remember is the whole body is like a kinetic chain, and when there's a weak link in the chain, it has a knock-on effect on all the other areas. So this stretch not only is going to focus on the lower back, creating space there, the hips as well, but this is also a really great stretch for upper back and thoracic spine mobility and shoulder health as well. So you're going to go into a deep squat, holding onto a banister or a wall, twisting one arm up overhead and looking over that shoulder, going from side to side. If you're somebody that struggles to get into that deep squat position, then as a ground-based alternative, what I want you to do is lie flat on the ground, push yourself up into a hip thrust position. So you're going to bridge your hips, engage your glutes, and gently twist one arm up and over to the opposite top corner of the mat. So the right arm goes up to the top left corner, and then the left arm goes up to the top right corner. This is again not only a great hip opener, but it is also a great stretch for increasing thoracic spine and shoulder mobility as well. One of the biggest limiting factors when it comes to ankle mobility is calf tightness. So for this next stretch, this is going to directly target the calves and the Achilles tendon. You're going to go into a lunge, back leg straight, front leg bent, keeping the back heel down into the floor and pressing your weight over the front foot, and that's really going to open up that calf muscle. If you want a slightly deeper stretch, you could press your toes up against a ledge or a step, and gently locking out the knee, begin to shift your weight forward over the toes of the front foot. So for the final stretch on my list today, it is going to be a forward fold that is also commonly used in many yoga classes. To enter this stretch, I want you to deeply bend your knees and fold your body over your legs, keeping your stomach pressed against your thighs, cradling the elbows and gently sway from side to side. This stretch is a fantastic release for the hamstrings, and it also helps decompress your spine through that deep spinal flexion, which can really help with creating space into your lower back if that is an area that you feel particularly tight in. Okay guys, so that is the end of the stretches today. I really hope you found this video useful, and hopefully you can start implementing some of these stretches into your routine. Aim to try and stretch at least 2 to 3 times a week, if not preferably daily. It only takes 10-15 minutes. If you could set that time aside, it will do your body a world of good. Any aches and pains that you have in the lower back, in the hips, any sort of little niggles that you feel running through the back of the legs, that kind of area, it will slowly start to iron them out. You'll feel the benefit of this, not just short term but long term as well. Don't forget that living a healthy lifestyle is all about the long term. So if you want your muscles to still be flexible and supple as you start to get older, then these are the sort of stretches you should be implementing into your routine. Okay guys, that's all for today. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please show your support to my channel by hitting that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video today. It will help the channel grow. I am trying to hit 100 subscribers before the end of 2021. We're 3/4 of the way there now at 75. So if you haven't already, click subscribe and click the post notifications button as well to be notified every time I upload a new video. Don't forget as well to comment down below what you'd like to see next. If you'd like me to make another video focused on stretching for a different area of the body, I'll be happy to do that as well. Okay guys, I've been Jack the Fitness Butler, and I'll see you in the next one.